All right, we're looking at a little bit of some brake issue here on this F-150. So what I initially want to show is right in here how thick the brake pads are. See if I can get a pointing device. See, there's some decent pad there. And we don't have near the amount of pad here. And you can kind of see just the rusting buildup. And I really look at how much, shiny material is here and on the inside to kind of make a good judgment call. So we just have a lot of just old brake hardware on the back here, and it's kind of dragging and not doing a real awesome job. We are going to look at a pinion seal leak and an axle seal leak. So as we look here, you can see that pinion seal is, weeping pretty good, and if we don't do something about it, it's going to starve this rear diff for fluid, and we're going to have a differential issue, which is very expensive on any vehicle. So in that instance, I've got to pull the drive shaft to change that seal. And I want to show you this side. This axle seal is not leaking, and I want to just do it as reference. I believe it should be resealed if we have to pull this apart. At the time the axle seals are done, the brakes have to be pulled off of it, and I don't see any need in putting these old rusty brakes back on here. So I mean, it's actively leaking. As we come across here, you can see the difference that we have a pretty significant axle seal leak here. And then as we come around here, we have good thick pad here. And we have good thick pad here, which verifies that I have some kind of a slide pin caliper binding issue. I have a excessive wear or drag issue on that side, as well as, this caliper's just seen better days. So my recommendation is going to be to do a reseal on the rear end and service it, which will be new fluid, diff gasket, pinion seal, this leaking axle seal, and I see no reason to tear it apart and not put the other axle seal in there. At that point in time, when you have all this apart anyway, it's basically cost of parts at that point in order to redo the brake system, and you're not paying labor multiple times for the same job. This is going to need a brake job. It needs a brake job now. It's wearing unevenly and it's going to continue to get worse, but it makes sense to do it along with the reseal of the differential. We had two other things going on here. We have a ABS light and a red warning brake light. The ABS light, if I can get it in the photo or in the screen, the ABS unit motor is binding up and it's pulling too many amps. So that is what's turning the ABS light on. The red brake light, and you'll have to take my word for it because it's in there, it has a broken solder joint, I believe, in the cluster. I need to pull it out and make sure, but I think with just a little bit of labor, we can fix the cluster instead of having to put a several $100 cluster in there with fixing that solder joint. So this is where we're at. This is kind of what's going on to get this truck where it needs to be. You have any questions, comments, please let me know. Hope this helps somebody out there.